photo. It's actually a big meal.
We're going to call our 7th meeting of this year, Village Board of Trustees, Village of Depew. It's June 23rd, 2025, and 7:03. Pledged by Trustee Kraft.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And just remain standing for a second. Within the depths of our being lies an untapped wellspring of potential, a boundless reservoir of strength with unwavering result. May we recognize our power to create change, weaving transformation into the fabric of our personal lives and the world beyond. Let the empowerment be the anthem that propels us forward, guiding us towards a brighter, more compassionate future. Amen.
Amen.
All right. It's nice and cool in here. You might want to be here for a while, but we're going to try and get you out pretty quick. So we would need notification of fire exits.
The emergency exits are located to my left and to the rear of the room. In the event of an alarm or emergency, please move in an orderly fashion to the exits and evacuate the building.
Roll call.
Trustee Moraski.
Here.
Trustee Zimba.
Here.
Trustee Kraft.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Here.
Mayor Peterson.
Here. First item tonight is to approve the board meeting minutes from May 12th, 2025.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I'd like to make a motion, move for its adoption, that we approve the board meeting minutes from May 12th, 2025.
I second
All
that.
those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Next item of business, approve the board meeting minutes from May 27th, 2025.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion, move for its adoption to approve the board meeting minutes for May 27, 2025.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. So tonight we had one addition late, so we're at 12 resolutions. We'll just go through them today. First item up is accept the resignation of our senior van driver, Chris Peters. He was there a short time, but he was liked by all, I believe, and was filling in effectively for Andy, who retired after a long career there. However, Chris, he accepted a new position. So we're back out looking for a senior van driver and bingo caller. And a hot dog
griller.
Yeah.
Paul, that'd be a good job for you.
And it can't be, we're not looking for something we're not looking for something temporary, it's for the entire year, so. Next item of business is to award a bid for the 2025 sanitary sewer improvement to National Water Main Cleaning Company. And this is a part of Phase 8. Next item is to authorize the administrator to advertise for bids. This is for some sidewalk work to the north of here on the tracks. We did not, in the first allocation of community development block grant funds from the county of Erie, awarded our requested project. We finished slightly below, but they did have some extra money for us, so instead of $150,000, they were giving us $90,000, which will allow us to do a good portion of what we wanted to do across the way there. There are some sidewalks that are a problem. Again, just because I see comments online, when the village does sidewalk work, we're doing it with money that's being given to us by the county, allocated from the government, or from Cheektowaga, which comes through the federal government in their community development block grant. So those projects we try and take care of in our low to moderate income area. And unfortunately, most of the areas in the village are not in low to moderate income areas. So I think I said this before, the amount of money that we got from the county, the amount of area is now restricted. We were doing all kinds of work in the Veterans Park area to make it a walkable community. And we did extra sidewalks last year, above and beyond what they approved us for because the cost of concrete was down. But when people see them being done, well, when is my sidewalk going to get done? The bottom line is it's a homeowner's responsibility. And we just happened to have funding that came to the village, so we made the best use of it. Same thing across the way. So that area that we could do was very limited
Very limited.
this year, and it was mostly across the tracks here. So we're going to get done as much of the project that we had asked for. So it's about 90,000. We're accepting the resignation of one of our young officers, Scott Bakering, and we wish him well. Next up is appoint some summer recreational employees. We have another 5 lifeguards coming on, so I think I counted the last time, Kevin, you had maybe 16, so you're over 20 now?
Yeah, but they, sometimes they go to Lancaster and get hours,
Yeah.
we share them.
Okay,
So I just, which is a good thing, because then I can call Rich and say, Rich, you know what, I'm short this week. We need a couple extra, and then he can call me up, I'm short this week, so we go back and forth.
all right, good. Good working together. Next is, we're appointing in the DPW, a name that's familiar, to a part-time superintendent of Department of Public Works effective June 23rd, 2025. So we took Kenneth Pick last time retired, and we explain the list part.
No,
We
but
can't, we don't have somebody that's ready to jump into that spot.
yes, so Ken's gonna help out temporarily to get there.
So he's going to be working about 15 hours a week. He'll come to one of these meetings during the month, and one of the crew chief will come in his place. Ken, over the years, has 30-some-odd years, like he said the last time, has a wealth of knowledge as far as, paving roads and getting the amount of salt that we need, and we're commissioning a new salt truck, I believe, is one of the things on it. So a lot of his knowledge is still going to be needed. And we spoke to the folks over at DPW, and actually they'd rather us, he stay on. But when somebody wants to retire, that's their own personal decision. So I think we're all fortunate that Ken will still be around in some capacity to help us out.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing tonight. So I'm going to, we've talked about this one for a number of meetings, and we had a public hearing for 3 possible demolitions. Well, one is we have an order for demolition finally on 163 Kiefer. So that will be approved tonight.
Okay.
Anything you want to add with that?
Nope, I actually reached out and I've got bids already in, so we could take a look at that.
Yeah, if you were to drive by, you would definitely think twice about that house, so. DPW grass cutting, our part-time code enforcement officer and our full-time fire department chief there. We have 6 locations on the list. Half of them are the viaduct in Transit Road. So this is approval to get the grass mowed on these 6 locations. And there's more to come, perhaps?
Yes, sir.
The next resolution authorize the garbage and recycling tote rate increase. So if you're going to buy a new tote, the cost of of us ordering a new tote and getting it shipped here has gone up a little bit. So the 95, the big tote is up to $95. The recycled tote is at $80. And since, as I've been saying since earlier this year in a B article and here, the original warranties on all of those totes that you all purchased through your taxes was from 2012. Now, could you have bought a tote 5 years ago as either an additional one or a replacement? If that happens to need a new lid, then the responsibility would be on the homeowner in order to produce the receipt that they would have gotten at the clerk's office, so. These are the rates if you need a tote. If the garbage people gobble up one of them or something like that, and they, we get the complaint and they understand that it's in their truck, where it's not supposed to be, then they are charged that money. But that's what it'll cost.
And we're charging for lid replacement now.
Right.
That we hadn't
Right.
before. We still have plenty of wheels, but the lids we had to buy more of.
Okay, next item is Depew Volunteer Fire Department. We need to make sure that that gets added in. Okay, so we'll have to let Melissa know. For Depew Fire Department, so to grant engine 3, 4, 5, and 7 for live fire training at the academy in Cheektowaga on the 26th. And permission is hereby granted to the Depew Fire Department for 2 pieces of apparatus in the July 4th foot race, and 2 pieces of apparatus in the chief's truck in the 4th of July parade, and 2 pieces of apparatus for standby, the fireworks on July 4th. Next resolution is permission for training in the building department for Kate to go to some training, actually at Highmark Stadium. The use of a village vehicle will not be required. Next up is the addition tonight, authorize the administrator to advertise for a public hearing for proposed acquisition of 0 Broadway from Erie County. So we spoke about this too, on Broadway between the existing solar farm and the Twin Village recycling facility. There's property there that was also under DEC, with the landfill. County owned most of that land. But 17.2 acres is being proposed transfer to the village for $1. We're going to take that property and we're going to work with the solar company. That'll be phase 3. So it's another source of revenue for the village. Whether we lease it or sell it, that's to be determined. They will handle the remediation of the property because it needs to be remediated for DEC purposes. And then, just like you see as phase 1, phase 2 will be in this summer. Phase 3 will be shortly after. That's all of our items. So if anybody, if you fellows or somebody online has a question on that, step to the podium, state your question, and we'll see if we can answer it. Nothing? Very good. A lot of times we take the time to explain what they are, which answers most of the questions usually. So. All right, we'll get started with accept the resignation of a senior van driver.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, the resignation of Christopher Peters, senior van driver, effective June 20th, 2025, is accepted.
I second the motion.
Need a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Moravsky.
Yes.
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
And that's carried.
Resolution number 2, award a bid for 2025 sanitary sewer improvements.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion, move for its adoption. Be resolved that upon the recommendation of the village engineer, Nussbaumer and Clark, Inc., the bid for the 2025 sanitary sewer system improvements Sewer Shed 2 Rehab Project Phase 8 cap bid opening June 12, 2025, in the bid amount of $1,347,685.00 will be awarded to National Water Main Cleaning Co., 25 Marshall Street, Canton, Massachusetts, 02021.
I second that.
Okay, need a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Moravsky.
Yes.
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Resolution 3, authorizing the administrator to advertise for bids.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following resolution and move for its adoption. The administrator is authorized to advertise for bids for the Village of Depew Lancaster Side Sidewalk 2025 project, with the bid opening to be held on Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025 at 10 a.m. in the council chambers, 85 Manitow Street, Depew, New York, 14043.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that's approved. Resolution 4, accept the resignation of Depew Police Department employee.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion, move for its adoption. Be it resolved, the resignation of Scott A. Backerink, police officer, effective June 18, 2025, is accepted.
I second the motion.
Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Morowski.
Yes.
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
That's approved. Resolution 5, appoint summer recreational seasonal help pursuant to Section 4-400 of Village Law. I, Mayor Kevin Peterson, do hereby appoint the following for seasonal summer employment to the Rec Department. Lifeguard positions: Clara Devine, Louisa Pick, Mia Canna, Liam Dunning, and Benjamin Whippick. I need a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Morowski.
Yes.
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Resolution number 6, appoint DPW part-time superintendent. Pursuant to Section 4-400 of Village Law, I, Mayor Kevin Peterson, do hereby appoint Kenneth Pick to the position of part-time superintendent of the Department of Public Works effective June 23rd, 2025. Need a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Morowski.
Yes.
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Resolution number 7, authorization for demolition.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Whereas, in response to a resident complaint, Code Enforcement Officer Don Bealfield conducted an inspection of the residence at 163 Kiefer Avenue, Depew, New York, on September 20th, 2022, and again on April 11th, 2025, and issued an order to remedy and make safe. And whereas a reinspection occurred on April 14th, 2025, in which none of the items listed in the order to remedy and make safe were corrected. And whereas at the April 14th, 2025 regular board meeting, the Village Board of Trustees approved the demolition of 163 Kiefer as an unsafe structure. And whereas the 5th day of April 2025, the notice of demolition was served pursuant to CPLR Section 308-4 to the owner, executor, administrator, agent, leasee, or any person having a vested or contingent interest in such unsafe building as shown by the records of the receiver of taxes or of the county clerk for village law sections 81-6, 81-7, and 81-8, and whereas a public hearing has been held no less than 5 days after the notice of demolition was served, and whereas pursuant to Chapter 81 of the Depew Village Code, and as noted in the notice of demolition, the structure was determined to be unsafe and the property owner has refused to comply. Now, therefore, be it resolved that pursuant to Chapter 81 of the Depew Village Code, the unsafe condition and the property owner's refusal to comply required demolition of 163 Kiefer Avenue, Depew, New York, and it is further resolved that the expenses of such demolition will be charged against the land on which it is located and shall be assessed, levied, and collected.
I second the motion.
And a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Morowski.
Yes.
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
It's a long process, over, 3 years, it's just about 3 years.
Good job, Don.
Very good. Resolution number 8, DPW grass cutting.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following resolution and move for its adoption. Whereas the village is encountering numerous vacant and foreclosed homes in the village, and orders to remedy have been issued to the property owner on record at 58 Muskegum Street, parentheses, not cutting the rear of the property, close parentheses. 103 Lincoln Street, parentheses, not cutting the rear of the property, close parentheses. 37 Mona Court, parentheses, not cutting the rear of the property, close parentheses. 5601 Transit Road, 5651 Transit Road, 104.13-2-5 Niagara Mohawk. Whereas the high grass is a nuisance to neighbors and attracts rodents. Be it resolved, permission is granted to the Department of Public Works to mow the above-named streets that are not mowed by the due date on the order to remedy from the 2025 year. The cost of said mowings will be attached to the village tax bill for that property.
I second the motion.
And a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Morowski.
Yes.
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
And just in case you were wondering, it's not like a sign you might see, $25, mow your yard. When you get done with it and it goes to your tax bill, it's more like $460 or more.
The most recent.
Niagara Mohawk, what did they have to do with that?
They own the property on Transit between the viaducts.
And they wouldn't cut it?
Well, they haven't.
They never do.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Resolution number 9, authorize garbage and recycling tote rate increases.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion, move for its adoption. Be it resolved, the 95-gallon tote replacement rate for residents of the Village of Depew will increase to $95 per tote, and be it further resolved, the 65-gallon tote replacement rate for residents of the Village of Depew will increase to $80 per tote. And be it further resolved, the lid replacement rate for residents of the Village of Depew will be $25 per lid.
I second that
Need
motion.
a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Morowski.
Yes.
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Resolution 10, permission for the Depew Volunteer Fire Department.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the motion and move for its adoption. Permission is hereby granted to Engine 3, Engine 4, Ladder 5, and Rescue 7 for the live fire training at the Fire Academy located on Broadway in the town of Cheektowaga on Tuesday, June 26, 2025, from 6 p.m. hours until 10 p.m. Permission is hereby granted to the Depew Volunteer Fire Department to use 2 pieces of fire apparatus for the 4th of July annual foot race in Lancaster to assist in traffic control, 2 pieces of apparatus and department chief's vehicle for the 4th of July parade in Lancaster, and 2 pieces of apparatus for standby for the fireworks for the 4th of July in Lancaster.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Resolution 11, permission for training for building department employees.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Whereas permission is hereby granted to Catherine Zaganachik, Building Department, to attend the accessibility update for AIA Western New York to be held on Thursday, June 26, 2025 at Highmark Stadium, 1 Bills Drive, Orchard Park, New York, 14127, from 8:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. Will not require use of a village vehicle.
I second that motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Marevsky.
Yes.
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Resolution 12, authorize the administrator to advertise for public hearing for proposed acquisition of Zero Broadway from Erie County.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, the village administrator is hereby authorized to advertise for a public hearing to discuss the proposed acquisition of Zero Broadway from Erie County. The public hearing will be held on July 14th, 2025 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers, Village Hall, 85 Manitow Street, Depew, New York, 14043.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that's also carried. We received employment applications in the rec department, Claire Devine, Liam Dunning, Mia Kana, Louisa Pick, and Benjamin Whippick. There's no department head reports to do tonight. No unfinished or other business. And as usual, we'll go around the room to the department heads, and then we'll open it up for public concerns and comments. We'll start at rec. Kevin?
Got all the parks done with the soft services. It's really an upgraded soft service. It's really nice. So all the parks have been completely redone. The pool opens this Sunday, which is good. The pool is all painted, all redone. Also, too, I forgot to tell you, I had the cashiers, I have all my cards at the cashiers because it was the first time, the first couple of weeks, when the people come in, like we have a resident fee for $7 a day, non-residents $12 a day. They'll say, well, I'm a resident. They'll say, well, where do you live? The girls have the sheet. They say, you're not a resident. Well, I paid Depew school tax. Well, you're still not. And I tell them, do not argue with them. Give them my card and have them call me. Because you know what happens then.
Yeah, we don't want the young kids to.
No, I don't want them involved at all whatsoever, so I take care of it. They just call me and, I tell them. But that's the number one rule, I pay Depew school taxes. Well, you don't pay village taxes. So that's what they say. So it is what it is, and it's pretty fair. It's 7 for a resident, 12 for a non-resident.
And then the family plan or something. Right?
Yes. So it's really not bad, but they'll go at these girls pretty good. And I just won't have it. I just say, don't argue with them. Just give them my card and have them call me, and then I take care of it.
You get a season pass for that?
Yeah, you get a season pass. A non-resident season and family pass for the whole summer is $100. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's how many kids? Doesn't matter?
4 kids.
4 kids?
Good numbers.
That's pretty cheap.
Pool is not, from the road, it certainly looks crystal clear.
I tell you what, it's nice. I mean, the paint's real good. They put 2 layers on this year,
Yeah,
so it looks really good. The only thing is you gotta add water, a lot to it, so.
yeah,
I'm not gonna start my swimming debut till next week.
okay,
6 in the morning, it's a little cold.
Gotta add water to the pool.
all right. The pool is a money loser right off the bat, just so you know. So whatever we can make back through some of the fees helps with covering the cost of these lifeguards, which
Right,
we're paying a decent amount for, right?
right.
Okay.
Right, so we got, the lifeguards, we got plenty of lifeguards, I go back and forth and share with Rich Fry, so we're all good. And then Rich even came over and he did the certification in our pool, last week in our pool, so, we work hand in hand with each other, so it works out good.
Do you know when the, beyond the old Candlesian Center, do you know when they're coming out with the kids? Can you have Kathy find out?
I do have that, I got an email, and you're gonna get an email because they want more dates.
Okay. So
I mean, that's up to you, I don't care.
they used the wading pool, right?
Now they got bigger kids coming too,
Oh,
so.
is that different from past years?
Yeah, they used to just use the wading pool with the little kids. Now they get bigger kids coming in, so they want the bigger pool.
Yeah.
At certain times, so,
I mean, how does it affect the average day? Isn't it like in the slow times?
nah, not too much. I'm just gonna have to call in more lifeguards,
All right,
I mean, I'll lay it to you in an email, and then you just let me know what you want me to do.
yeah, okay. All right, we'll go across the room to our building department. We've got both our full-time code enforcement people.
We haven't really had any new businesses that come in this last 2 weeks, but a lot of permits, we have a lot of construction going on. If you're thinking of having any projects done, try to get your permits applied for before you start, because we're probably at least a couple weeks behind in plan review this time of year. And as always, try to keep your grass cut and clean, and get rid of any unregistered vehicles. If you're not using them, donate them, junk them, don't care, we just don't want them here. Anything else?
And don't forget to put your trash bags in your bin. They don't belong on the curb.
Yeah, we've had some complaints lately. A lot of people are putting trash outside the bin. If it's in black bags, it's got to go in the bin. If you have a large item, what do we get? We get one large
Two
item?
a week.
Two large items a week, so try to adhere to that.
So you guys are being really nice, because you don't really get into people that want to open up a business in the village. You know, it needs to be really clear that
Oh, we're open.
you just can't lease a place, get the key, and throw some stuff on the shelves, okay? It needs to come before planning and perhaps even zoning.
Well, at least start with the building department. We'll steer you in the right
There
direction.
you go.
And we are very happy to help people, you know, here. We're very business friendly, and we'll help you get in any way we can, but you still have to start by contacting us, and we'll steer you in the right direction.
You know. So that's the first thing that needs to happen. And we'll go this side. Chief McNamara, our police.
Good evening. Yeah, police department is looking for a part-time dispatcher, so we put a posting on Indeed, so if you know anybody that's interested in a career in law enforcement communications, have them apply. Other than that, we're seeing a lot of aggressive driving out on the road. Officers are doing a lot of enforcement, so please mind your traffic rules. Thank you.
And we're rotating the speed signs around.
Yep.
Your lieutenant came by today and gave me an idea where they're going, and two of them are out, I believe. There's two.
Yep.
All right. We'll go on the other side here. Chief Brian Musilak, our volunteer fire department chief.
Good evening, everyone. Since our last board meeting, we've had 11 calls. We're at 182 year-to-date. We got a busy June and end of June and July and August coming up in the village of Depew, which our fire department is a big part of. Just some things to watch for, obviously, with these high temperatures that we're having now. Just make sure you hydrate, make sure that you're be safe out there. And another thing is out on the roadway. This time of year is the most amount of traffic on the roadway. And when our first responders, whether it be fire, police, or EMS have to, or in our tow truck drivers as well, that are out there working on the roadway, it's one of the most dangerous things we do. Please be mindful of them, slow down, and try to pay attention to what's going on, please. That's all I ask. Thank you.
Okay. Sam Legal.
All right, not too much going on. We're trying to come up with some creative solutions for, I guess we'll call them the empty cell towers. Before I was here, the village signed agreements to have 3 cell towers put up. They got a lump sum payment, and there was an agreement that there would be per carrier payments, but we haven't gotten any carriers. We're kind of revisiting in a pragmatic way to just find solutions to make those more lucrative for the village. Paul, you've probably heard me talk about this a few times. It's not a contract that lends itself to an easy solution, so that's what we're working on.
Okay. Administrator Kwiatkowski.
Concerts are starting on Thursday. First one will be Terry Buckwald. Be ready, we'll have your schedules out there for everyone to see. And the mayor and I had a meeting with a new website developer looking to get an upgrade and a facelift to our current site. So stay tuned for that.
At a less expensive cost.
Yes.
As well.
Correct.
So yes, we are looking at the website again. We're trying to make it a little more friendly to the people that want to use it. We want to make it more friendly for those that have to fill in the information on the back end, make the back end easier to deal with. And the bonus is that we're getting it at less cost than we were proposed by others, plus the maintenance fee is a lot less,
Correct.
the yearly maintenance fee, so I think we did pretty well with that. How about trustee Z, what do you got?
I just want to wish all the village residents a happy and safe Independence Day. That's it.
Robert Morosky, trustee.
I have nothing tonight.
Okay. Trustee Kraft.
Nothing new, just looking forward to the kickoff to all our summer events starting on Thursday. And we are in the midst of the plans for Founder's Day. Kid Zone is going to be hopping, so looking forward to that.
Okay, Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yeah, I know I thank Don for the demo and getting all that going. Kate, thank you as well for all the work. I know Code has a lot going on right now, as does all our departments. So just thank you for the department heads and continual work. We appreciate the efforts for sure. So.
Okay, so as was mentioned, the concert series is the 10th season. Since we went from 1 when I was a trustee to currently 8. And again, just so, back in that time, when I was a trustee, it was a budgeted item, so there was $600 in the budget to pay for the Lancaster Town Band, the only concert that we had. Since that time, all of the cost of running the concerts, paying the bands and what have you, and any of the materials used has been through sponsorships. This year has been a great year, so I've collected over $10,600 from residents and businesses, and Bob's family is a sponsor. Darren is a sponsor. I'm a sponsor. Darren's Union is a big sponsor. Fire department is a sponsor. Plus, a number of different. Some have been with us all of those 10 years. The fire department's been with us for 10 years. So it doesn't cost the taxpayer any money. It's 8 Thursday nights to come out to the concerts. It seems to be a good time. I know it's an opportunity for our volunteer fire department to get out there and recruit, to mingle with the residents. They run a 50-50, which is part of their fundraising. Then we go into July, and we're second year of our partnership with Green Acres Ice Cream for their movie nights on Wednesday nights at the Pavilion. Those 4 nights generally turned about 200 to maybe 275 people come out to watch the movie, so that's pretty nice. Founder's Day, the 3-day now, because we incorporate one of the Thursday night shows into it. We've got big entertainment coming. We have VIP sponsors this year for the 2 big shows with the Nerds and with Walk of Shame from Pittsburgh, PA. So Auto Collision and Glass, a new business, relatively new business in the village, stepped up and became a VIP sponsor. They'll have a special area that they can bring some of their employees and guests to. And then, and I'm sorry, that's for the Nerds. They sponsored the Nerds, that's the 18th. And then Herbal IQ, another one of our relatively new businesses, gladly stepped up and sponsored the Walk of Shame band for Founder's Day. So that was tremendous. Cost of bands have gone crazy, so it's nice to get some help to cover that and not necessarily rely on sales of beverages. We have a lot of vendors coming back, I believe, food trucks. Yeah, it's a good time. Just pray for some good weather. And fire department handles the beer tending. They're tips trained, most of them. Hopefully we get those cards soon so we can get those into nameplates or whatever. What else we got going on? Night Out is back. I know you talked about that the last time. First Tuesday in August. And so I just want to touch on one other thing. So if somebody has a complaint You know, and they send a letter into the village board. This one came, Mayor, 85 Manitou, Depew, New York, 14003. No return address, no, nothing on there. Says it was mailed 140, whatever, could be here locally, I don't know. But it's like this, and it talks about a couple different problems they might see, number of dogs that somebody owns. Twice they didn't talk about that. They allude that there's 10 people living in some house, some living in the garage. But when it's signed concerned resident, this really doesn't get a whole lot of weight. And it goes back in the envelope, and then it gets shredded. So, yes, we ask you to come in if you have a problem with one of your neighbors. Come in and do a report in the building department generally. Could start in the police department, but, you know, anonymous things aren't going to get looked at, and it's not going to go anywhere. Posting on Facebook is not going to go anywhere either. Yes, we asked for a little bit of skin in the game, basically, but rest assured that if somebody was to foil that document, that complaint, they're not going to get your name and address of who made the complaint. It's all going to be redacted out if that, in fact, it gets that far. But we want to put a name and an address to a complaint in case we get any pushback from whoever made the complaint. So just a little thing I wanted to say. Okay. Any questions? Yes, sir. Dave, come on up.
Dave Worker, very well, Lee. Last year around this time,
Okay, Kevin? This has got to go to the rec.
last year around this time and during the summer, there were some residents, they were complaining about some guy renting his house up. I forgot what you call it.
Airbnb.
Airbnb, okay, thank you. And so you remember. And
Couple years ago, yeah.
I haven't heard much about it. Did we solve that problem somehow?
I'm going to leave that for our legal expert here.
Okay, great. I'm going to defer to trustee. No, I'm just kidding. So we had a draft law, and I think we even put it to public hearing and had inquiry from the public on it. But as we were going through it, it became apparent that there was only one house this happened with. It was kind of a one-off problem. So I think we all decided to wait and see if things escalated. And I'm aware there's a new issue. I've got a couple emails that we'll be responding to, and it might be time to revisit that. But we never ended up passing a local law regulating Airbnbs or short-term rentals because we didn't think it was going to extend beyond that one issue.
Did somebody talk to the owner at all, or?
That owner ended up selling the house.
Well,
Solved the
I
problem.
think he was
He
trying.
was trying to, it's never officially sold.
Okay.
Yeah,
But-
so he didn't sell it, he ended up keeping it.
Yeah.
He did rent it out, and
Yeah, he
we
has
haven't had any
tenants.
issues.
Yeah,
So he's a one, I think he rented it to somebody on longer term, right?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Right.
think one of the things that came up in our, discussing of it is that there are people that do it properly. So we didn't necessarily want to put them in danger of losing that. And there's some talk, I know what you're talking about, because my brother-in-law was involved with it.
Well, Chief Walker's having
Yeah,
their problem
that's the
now.
one, yeah.
And I was going to relay what we did to them, but since we didn't, we only.
They have reached out to us, yes, and that's why I reached out to Sam for more of a, exactly legally where we stand with it. It's probably something, as you said, that we're going to need to.
We can
keep the August
revisit.
close.
And there's other municipalities that, do it correctly and have a registry. However, I don't want to put more burden on the building and code enforcement department right now, inspecting short-term rentals, and doing things like that. There's a certain amount of theory that doesn't necessarily.
I hate to think that we're
translate.
reactionary instead
Right.
of being proactive, but until something hits the fan like it did on Genesee Street, then, really. But we did a lot of research on it.
We
I
did.
think we're in a period where we could, do something rather quickly.
Yeah, I really felt bad for those residents
Yes.
to be yelled at by young people, and it just,
Yeah, people that don't, we did put up another street light there, so that was one of the benefits. They had only one street light on that part of the block. And we had no complaints since, so, which is great,
Well, hopefully, it's not gonna happen again.
right?
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Paul, did you think of anything?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
All right, come on up.
Go get it all.
All right, we'll wait until he gets to the podium there.
Set your timer.
Yep.
Yep.
Just out of curiosity, who has jurisdiction of Transit Road, let's say between Walden and Genesee, as far as speeding goes? Is that village or state or town, or, because it's, half of it is in Cheektowaga and half is in Lancaster.
Right, so on transit between Walden and Genesee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, a large part of that is us, that's the village.
Okay, what I've noticed,
Transit, or you said Walden from Dick?
no, transit
Transit.
between Walden and Genesee. What I've noticed the past few nights, I'm working in the backyard doing weeding and planting and trimming and stuff. These motorcycles that go by, like from now until the sun goes down,
Yep.
is brutal.
I agree.
And it's not Harleys, I call them the rice rockets, these Japanese motorcycles.
I won't call them that, but okay.
But, and I don't hear that noise subsiding.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we're well aware of it,
Okay.
and we are trying to take action. A lot of these cases, these bikes won't stop for us. Chasing a bike, lights and sirens, is a tricky endeavor, dangerous endeavor.
And dangerous.
Yeah, and it becomes a liability, unfortunately, the police officer, the police department, and ultimately the village. And the repercussions, quite honestly, just aren't severe enough for these drivers to convince them to stop. Oftentimes, we can get the plates, and then if the plates are actually registered to somebody, it's registered appropriately, we can follow up at a different time. You got to be able to identify who was actually on the bike. But, there's methods for doing that. But in a lot of cases, the plate doesn't match the bike, or there is no plate, or it's covered.
Uh-huh.
So we are aware of it, and we are, attempting to curtail that.
Okay, I appreciate it, and I just wanted to know who, I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but whose area is supposed to, take care of that.
Some of them might have come out of that Herbal IQ, and the owner, we called the owner in, he came down, we had a big meeting, and he was actually glad that we put the kibosh on the cruise nights, he called them.
Oh, yeah.
And he was attracting the wrong crowd even for his own business.
Yeah,
And that was a lot of motorcycles, so that was 2 months ago, maybe.
yeah.
At Cheektowaga can, obviously, they can also right there, and then once we cross Ream, from Ream to Genesee, right in that area, the line, it becomes Lancaster as well.
Okay, all right, thank you. Well, we got the police department. Terry Buckwald's going to be here Thursday, right? He comes in on his motorcycle minus a helmet. He's done that all the previous years.
Is he on the roadways?
He's on Park, Meridian.
Goes
and then
around
comes
the
up
park
to-
and then up the sidewalk to the gazebo.
Well, unfortunately for him, I think Lieutenant Pick is working, so he may.
I think if,
I'll talk to Terry, I'll let him know Pick is on the job.
This is a good opportunity for Paul to do a citizen's arrest. We've been talking.
Are you helping with the long form information?
This whole 5 minutes.
am I going to be
I'll draft it.
deputized or something?
Well, give him a gun.
I don't want to put him on a spot. I mean, he puts on a great show and draws a lot of different age groups of people.
Well, if you,
But I
if,
think just kiddingly, maybe if somebody,
We should stop him, is that what you're saying?
well, just go up to him and pretend to write him a ticket.
You'll mess his hair up. if you
Don't
put
give
the
him a
helmet
gun.
on.
Oh, yeah,
And what about the
How's the time?
yachtsman coming in on the fire department boat with no life preservers?
there you go.
Just saying.
What else you got tonight,
You
Paul?
listening?
I was listening.
Paul, anything else?
Anything?
Yeah.
What else you got?
Anything else?
Oh, yeah, I'm running out of, the tote price, does that come with the lid if you order a new tote?
Yes, that's just separate. If you break the lid, we used to replace them for free. We're no longer doing that.
Okay. That Zero Broadway area,
Yeah.
there's room to put a park towards the creek?
We still retained about 7 acres up at the creek.
Okay, is there any plans for that yet, or?
But not that the DEC has approved.
They
so-
haven't approved, maybe one day. but-
Yeah, but we have to, we'll get all set up finally, whatever the 3 phases are, and,
Okay,
you know, they'll want to come back out and check, you know, and make sure everything's capped properly, so.
yeah, okay.
But with hope, we kept the creek front property.
Yeah, okay, I remember that. Is there water in the pool yet?
No, come swimming. It's all filled,
Yeah.
Paul. Have you gone by, it's
Can we go
crystal
there after
clear.
this meeting?
Go ahead, go swimming. Paul, I'll even open the door for you.
Do a cannonball, do a.
Will you have a life jacket on? You'll need a life jacket and probably,
It's so cold, he's gonna.
probably a cap for his head or something.
It's not cold in the day like today.
Time's up. All right.
Will you?
Anything online?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Then it's time for claims and accounts.
The claims and accounts have been audited by the Finance Committee and approved for payment as follows.
From the general fund, $1,005,212, 0 community development, sewer, $1,259, capital projects, $9,230, for a total of $1,015,701.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. And I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion that we adjourn this evening's meeting at 7:55 PM.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And we are closed at
Enjoy your evening, Chief.
7:50.
I'm gonna try.
Have a great 4th of July.
Brutal today.